Hello everyone, welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Before we get to the video, I'd like to thank you all for your support and remind you that we're doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers is our goal to reach by the end of this month, so make sure you subscribe, stay subscribed, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves for the latest updates on the giveaway. Now, on to the video. First, starting off with the Inter Miami and New York Red Bulls game. The last matchup, the Red Bulls absolutely finessed Inter Miami. Messi was not in that game, and it looked like they were going to repeat that same fate for Inter Miami in this game. Emil Forsberg and Van Zier were playing exceptional in the first half, and I was like, oh man, this defense is really giving up. You can see the depth issues for Inter Miami. Emil Forsberg has a beautiful pass. Van Zier finishes the goal, and it's looking bleak. Then Inter Miami absolutely turned it up. I mean, they went crazy. Rojas comes off the bench, scores an absolute screamer. Absolute screamer. And then Messi has just an incredible pass. It was a needle threader. I mean, I don't even know how he saw Rojas open. Rojas chipped this goal, and then the floodgates were open. It was off to the races after this. Inter Miami ended up winning 6-2. Messi had 5 assists. Messi had 5 assists this game and 1 goal. Luis Suarez, we didn't even talk about this yet. Luis Suarez had a hat trick this game. Luis Suarez had a hat trick this game. 37-year-old Luis Suarez with 1 leg had a hat trick this game, which he now has 10 goals on the season. And Messi, man, I tell you what, Messi, if he was going to play the whole season, if he hadn't have already missed 3 games due to injury, if he wasn't going to miss 6 to 8 games this summer because of Copa America, he'd be breaking the record this year. Let's keep it honest. He'd be breaking the record this year, set by Carlos Vela in 2019, 34 goals, 15 assists. He'd be smashing that record. He's only playing 8 games. He's got 10 goals, 12 assists. Let that sink in. Keep in mind, Inter Miami also has a bunch of injuries right now. Key players, Facundo Frias, Federico Redondo, Diego Gomez, Jordi Alba. This team is depleted with injuries, and this dude is still cooking right now. He's in the driver's seat right now for MVP. Anybody who's denying that or disagrees with that is delusional. And another thing, too, you know MLS wants to give him this award. Obviously, he has to earn it, but you know that if he's got the stats, this dude is a lock to win MVP. I honestly thought Luis Suarez was going to win it because he was scoring at a more consistent rate than Messi at the beginning of the season. Obviously, Messi had his injuries. Messi might end up missing 10 games this year, only playing 24 matches in the regular season and still winning MVP. That's how good he's playing right now. This dude is on cruise control. And when this team gets healthy, who's beating them? Who's beating them right now? You could say, oh, you know, you're overhyping Inter Miami. You can say, oh, you're fanning right now over the club. I'm just being honest. Anybody who knows me knows I don't support any team in this league. I'm not a fan of any team in this league. This is the best team in MLS right now. And when they get healthy, it's going to be scary because they just beat one of the best, another good team in MLS. Don't get it twisted. The Red Bulls are a great team. The Red Bulls are a very good team, and they just absolutely clowned them this week. 6-2. 6-2. It wasn't even close. It was. I mean, this was Messi, Suarez, Barca days. I mean, it was insane. I mean, it was a scoring frenzy, what we witnessed. And the scary thing is, they got room to make more additions this summer. So how much better is this team going to get? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Messi is running away with MVP. We're only 11 weeks into this season, and he is the clear front runner. There's not a person that's even close to him at this moment. So, crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Now, moving on to LAFC and San Jose. Oh, man, I mean, what is LAFC doing? What are they doing? They just lost to the worst team, arguably, in MLS, maybe in MLS history. Now, I know San Jose just got their new DP10, Lopez, but the dude didn't even play the full game, and they still lost 3-1. It's like LAFC is waiting until the summer to fix all their issues. Like, hey, you know, it's all good. We'll wait till the summer. No, I mean, this is happening right now. This team is playing bad right now. And I think that Olivier Giroud is going to solve some issues for this team, but he's not going to be this team and this club's complete savior. I can't even stress to you how much this team desperately misses Chiellini right now. Where's the leadership in the back line? I honestly think Campos has been a huge disappointment this year, and people were saying that he's going to be better than Diego Palacios. No, he hasn't right now. I mean, they need a center back. They need some fullback depth. I think they need a midfield depth. And, even if Carlos Vela was on this team, are we going to pretend like they would be any better right now? I mean, you think Carlos Vela is saving this team right now? And even if he did sign 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever the deadline was, he's been on vacation. He's been enjoying life with his wife. How long is it going to take him to get fit? You think he's going to save this team? I don't think so. I don't think so right now. I mean, this team's got a lot of issues, and there was some fan, and I don't remember the account name, but try to say that Dolo was better than Wilfred Nancy. Really? Because Dolo just lost to the worst team in Major League Soccer this weekend, while the Columbus Crew just went down to Monterrey and absolutely waxed the floor with the Liga MX team, something that MLS clubs do not do traditionally. That's what happened. So this LAFC team's got some issues here, They've got some issues. They've lost the worst team in Major League Soccer, in my opinion, regardless of the sign they made. They've got to fix some things. They've got some good pieces. Bogusz, Atuesta, Kike Oliveira. I mean, this team is not completely lost, but they've got to get their act together. And this is honestly going to be the first time we have seen some true adversity for Dolo. Because last year seemed kind of bad on the surface, but they still went to the CONCACAF Champions League final. And they still made the playoffs. They still made it to the MLS Cup final back to back. But this year, it feels different. It just feels like something's missing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully they get their act together before the summer occurs. FC Cincinnati beat Orlando City 1-0. Charlotte FC beat the Timbers 2-0. Toronto FC beats FC Dallas 3-1. Federico Bernardeschi had 2 goals, 1 assist, absolutely cooking this game. FC Dallas is back to their slump. Nico Estevez on the hot seat. DC United and the Union end in a 2-2 draw. Atlanta United lost to Minnesota United 2-1. Gonzalo Pineda, the definition of mediocrity, the definition of mid. He's got to be on the hot seat soon. Arthur Blank doesn't tolerate consistent losing. The heat's on Gonzalo Pineda right now. The heat is on Gonzalo Pineda right now. Let's see what happens with that. Nashville SC finally put on the show. 4-1, beat Montreal, a good team that had been performing, or at least at the beginning of the season was performing pretty well. Montreal was, and Sam Surridge finally scores 3 goals, scored a hat trick. What they brought him in to do finally scores 3 goals. Finally. Paid this $7 million for this man to score goals. He finally does it. Like I said, Nashville SC beats Montreal 4-1. Houston Dynamo, St. Louis City SC ended in a 0-0 draw. Revolution finally get a win, or their second win of the season, but finally get a win after a long drought this, couple weeks without a win. Beating Chicago Fire. Things looking grim for the Chicago Fire. They won over the Fire 1-0. RSL beats Sporting Kansas City 1-0. Austin FC and Vancouver ends in a 0-0 draw. And then the Rapids continue to be the surprise of the season, beating New York City FC 2-0. And the Galaxy and the Sounders end in a 0-0 draw. Sounders still can't score. Galaxy might be facing their first test this year of adversity. I don't know. They've been playing pretty well. Obviously, not having Joveljic has completely changed the dynamic for this club. We'll see if these slumps continue on. And obviously, Ricky Puig not playing because he was suspended for his second yellow card last week made a huge impact. You can see that there's no creativity, and they struggled today. They missed their 2 guys. They missed Ricky Puig, and they missed Dejan Joveljic. So let me know in the comments section, what were your takeaways from this week? How crazy was the Inter Miami game? I'm sure a lot of you watched that game. 6 goals. Can anyone beat this team when they're playing like this? Imagine when they're healthy. Is this team beatable? If they are, who's beating them? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know who's your MVP. Who you got winning MVP so far this year? I'd like to know. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. And until next time, I will see you all soon.